Welcome back to the channel, and today we are taking a look at some new parts that I had no idea were going to be added to the game until they were already added into the game. And we have some new underwater power, or water power, could be, you know, for a boat as well. So if I go under the marine category here and scroll down, we have new water propellers. So we got the small ship screw, which is like, you know, your classic ship style propeller. And then we got the, we got the large one. Oh, look at that hitbox. That's quite a hitbox. Because, of course, I want to see if we can create a supersonic boat with these things. But the hitbox of this is going to be rough. But let's see. Do these have settings? Oh, apparently the settings icon has been changed. It is no longer the screw, or not screw, no longer the cog wheel. I don't know. I kind of like cog wheels. Other parts of the there's a whole bunch of stuff that happened with the update. A lot of the other stuff is mainly based on the campaign, like little tweaks to the campaign. And apparently the snow deformation visuals have been updated as well. But these are, to me, the big highlight. I mean, new parts are new parts. So, man, this thing is massive compared to this one. I mean, this is also a pretty big hitbox, too. Or let's bring in a seat here. Let's compare it. Oh, that's bad. That's not good for us here. I almost feel like this should have been a 2x2 that then sits centered in between two blocks, but attaches to like two blocks. Because you can't use, like, it's going to be hard to build a single propeller thing that is centered unless you use this. And I guess the question becomes, how is this its own power? And by the looks of it, yes. Forwards and backwards. Let's disable air control on the seat and give ourselves some buoyancy somehow. Or let's not give ourselves some buoyancy. Let's just exit and see what happens. Whee! 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 Not as powerful as I was expecting. Well, does it say the power? Okay, so we've got power 250 for the underwater propeller, power 250 for the small propeller. We got power 500, for the outboard engine, but power 1000 for the large ship screw. All right, so now I'm kind of tempted. Could we make like, this is a great seat for a jet ski, but can we make it look like a jet ski? We're gonna need it to be kind of buoyant, but our buoyancy blocks are all kind of big. Like, look at this completely overrides the seat. The smallest buoyancy block we have is this, which compared to the seat is also pretty big. And then like this doesn't get centered up here very well. I think we need some smaller buoyancy parts, especially with this propeller now. We need something to scale to this propeller. Actually, pipe pieces are buoyant. Pipe pieces should be in the marine category now. I mean, it's still not going to look like a jet ski. I'd have to build it at a bigger scale to get the shape right. But let's see if this gives us the buoyancy that we want. All right. Nope. It is 12.5 kilograms. This is 17.5 kilograms. I don't think I'm going to build something. Well, I don't know yet. So if I do try to build with this, what is my system going to be? Because we need to create like a rocket stick, but like we need to create a propeller stick. But how are we going to do the buoyancy for this? Like, actually, how are we going to do the buoyancy for this? I mean, one thing that's going to need to exist is gyro stabilization. Keep this thing level on the water. So that's going to be uneven, but that's what the gyro stabilization is for anyway. All right, so that looks weird, but it's kind of necessary. This hitbox is interesting to work with. All right, so we got one here, and then are these stackable? Oh, these are stackable? Oh, that's well, no, because I still need buoyancy though, but this is cool. Just really quick, I just want to, oh, and we got kicked out of the seat right away, of course. Yeah, look at that go. Okay, but how do we buoyancy this? All right, let's take a look at some aerodynamics. What are the oh, that's a factor. All right, we'll move these up. Okay. So the problem is this hitbox takes up this whole thing. So if I want to add buoyancy, either I add the buoyancy in between and make this thing longer, or... Oh, that's bad. Yeah, or I gotta add something like on the side, which will increase the total arrow resistance, aerodynamics resistance. This is gonna be very hard to figure out. Because this one was so convenient to work with, because I could just slap these things in between, and they're the same exact hitbox, and they attach. So I could just keep doing that. But that... I don't have an equivalent buoyancy thing that I could just slap in between here. I don't think. Like everything else is a completely different dimension. So if I was to do something, I wouldn't be able to attach it. I would have to like add... Oh, I got an idea. We use this double cross all-purpose pipe piece. That's going to attach there. But see, then we have all these unfortunate arrows. But we can use 4. I believe we should be able to use 4 of these small pontoons to fill in the arrow. So we go 1 there. Where's the attachment points on these? 1 there. 1 there. 1 there. And 1 there. And like a spiral. There we go. And that allows us to have buoyancy in the same hitbox, and then we can just duplicate that. Oh my goodness, this is still barely buoyant. And now they're all backwards for some reason. But this is something. We're getting somewhere. Forwards, reverse. Why are these all backwards? There. Now forwards is actually forwards. I realize I'm also going to need gyro steering. This seat should probably be in the middle. Okay. I am starting to see how I can build this now. Is this going to be the first Supersonic challenge where I use the motorcycle seat? All right, so this gyro is going to move to the side. And I guess I can put it right there. And that'll make room for my steering. So that fits there. So now we've just got to fill in this area, which I can use some more buoyancy blocks. So that fits there. We're going to need a grid block right there because that is our attachment to the rest of the vehicle. I'm actually going to put this on top because then we can add buoyancy blocks to the bottom here. So buoyancy. And I guess we need a grid piece there for more buoyancy. At least now I should be able to steer. And then what I want to try to do is copy these and put a set in the front as well. But we need them to attach. All right, do I float? Whoo. Whoo. All right, and forward. All right, that is something. I can just imagine the noises I would be making with the water in my face. This would just be like a... All right, so now we need to work on our aerodynamics. And now trailing aerodynamics matters again. All right, so we got... How do we do this? How do we do this? I am thinking... What's going to be annoying is there's going to be an asymmetry here because we have an odd number of blocks. But if I do... I guess I just do this. And then this. And this. And then I think up, an extra up block is probably going to be better. But now everything's attached right there. And then we just duplicate this to the back. All right. How fast are we going to be going in this thing? Here we go. Already better than the Triton engine ever did for us. Yeah. We're almost halfway there. I think this might work. Oh, that's because of the one up in the front. All right, I think I may also want to. I might want to reverse that back one. This is promising. This is actually pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna reverse this one to be that direction. Let's see if that evens us out. Come on, get to the surface. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Interesting indeed. You know, I wonder If this is probably good. This is probably good enough, right? But I do wonder if there's a way, like, all right, let me check out the aerodynamic difference. I think this is the best aerodynamic block, but I'm curious to compare it to, is this the longest one we have of this? Is that the best cone? You know what? Are those the same? I think these are the same. Because if that's the case, we can even this out. By deleting that, we'll add a universal pipe right in there. And then we just add that in there. And look at that. Everything's attached. I think I like that. And it looks like all the arrows are identical. All right, let's see how that, if that feels any different. I didn't look at my precise speed to see the difference because it feels like we're in the water a little bit more now. All right, so that one's definitely up. I'm gonna mess around with the angle of the rear wedges. In particular, there's a bottom one. I'm gonna change into that direction and see if that lifts our bottom up a little bit. Because if we're more skimming on the... Well, that made a difference. That kind of was the difference I wanted. It was just way more than I expected it to be. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so now I kind of want to change this. Oh, wait, the front. Wait, did I do the front? No, that is the back. And then the front is up. So I kind of want to change this back to an upwards wedge and see if they can kind of even each other out to keep me skimming on the surface. Pretty much just like that, but is that better or worse for me? We're kind of bobbing a little bit. Huh. This actually seems worse. This looks better, but the results seem worse. It actually seems like being deeper into the water was better. All right, so we're capping out around 617. I know you're all thinking it. Okay, so if that's what effect that had, let's go back to what we had before. So that is in... The cone is back there, and then this is back there. So we were at 617. And now... when we're, like, at an angle... What does this get us? This is somehow better. This looks way worse. But, like... kind of half of our engines are a little bit above the water and half of our engines are a little bit below the water. And I don't know why that gets us faster. I figured staying level, but like my whole creation is more above the surface. I feel like we'd have less resistance. So I don't know, but let's add some more engines. I feel like this could go well with just more. I guess it'll depend on our returns. If I just double these up, are we gonna see a big increase in speed? Or is it gonna be kind of like the Triton engine where we had a decent amount of speed, but then we couldn't, they were too heavy and we couldn't keep going with it? You know what, I feel like that probably mirrored. If I copy that way, I don't want things to get mirrored, so let's copy it sideways and then place it. How many power cores is this one? 1 power core. Same power as the underwater propeller. Okay, here we go. We've essentially doubled up. That's a decent increase. This thing's gonna do it. Not this particular one, maybe, but just with the amount of increase that we're getting with the amount of engines that we added, I feel like it's just a matter of time at this point. Also, it might be a matter of map size. I don't know how big this map actually is, but we did hit the edge there, which is a little worrisome. All right, come on. Come on. All right, we're capping out around 932 right now. I've got an interesting thing to test out. I'm gonna, I don't think my gyro settings are they maxed? I don't know. But if I max them out, it'll affect my angle. And will that matter? Yeah, they're only at 7. Let's put them up to 10. So we were at, what did I say, 932? So this should theoretically keep me more level. And is that going to be better or worse? I am definitely a little bit, I don't know. We'll just see if I pass 932, and it does seem like I'm getting up to 900 pretty quick. All right, well, this is definitely better. I think we are having more surface contact with the propellers. 940. Okay. All right, so now what I'm tempted to do is add more propellers just to the front. So hopefully... Oh, I just pressed all the wrong buttons. Hopefully that'll add more weight to the front, keeping my nose down a little more, which will mean more propellers propelling me. My center of mass is right where I want it to be, but I guess I want it to be a little bit forward now. All right, so we were at like 9. I, once again, did not take into account the final speed count there, but we were above 930. Now we're gonna hit 1,000. This is, I gotta be honest, I thought this propeller was just such a bad proportion that I was not gonna be able to make a system that worked efficiently. But this is actually way simpler than I expected it to be. We're gonna do it. I feel like we have enough engines right now if I figured out some optimization for this, which could be as simple as... Nope, that's not simple. I was gonna say like duplicating this, but there's not an easy way to add that in without reworking a bunch of stuff. I thought maybe more gyro strength could potentially add more speed. Pretty sure we're aerodynamically as perfect as can be. We have our exact seat hitbox of just bright green arrows. So I don't know. I guess we'll add a few more engines, see what happens. I'm going to add 3 more. All right, so we are at 44 power cores. And I have used 1, 2, 3 power cores of non-engines, and these engines are 1 power core. So I think we have 41 engines right now. 41 ship screws. All right, here we go. Large ship screw is next, by the way. I'm curious if that's going to be easier or harder, because it's going to be a lot more aerodynamic resistance because of the hitbox, but it's going to be way... Actually, not. It's only twice as powerful. Okay, 1100. We're gonna hit the edge of the map, aren't we? I think we're gonna hit the edge of the map first, but we're almost getting to 1200. Oh, 1190. I'm gonna stop. I was just about to slow down so I could turn around. All right, this is close, but we definitely need more space. I'm gonna head off in this direction and then slow down when I can't see the ship anymore. Or when I can't see the land anymore, rather. All right, there we go. And I will now slow down. Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, turn around and hope not to hit the ship or an island. We should have a lot more space to work with. We're already at 1,000 kilometers an hour before we even get back to our previous starting point. Am I gonna hit the ship? Nope. I aimed right. Okay, this is our best chance here with this amount of engines. 41 engines. I feel like we're going slower than we were before. I don't know. Are we gonna break 1200? We're at 1200. We're gonna hit the edge of the map. We need more power. How are we looking at for angle? Not bad. All right, yeah, we've capped out around 1208. I'll add 3 more engines. We'll see what that does. All right, 3 more engines, which puts us from 41 to 44. I believe this is 44 engines. All right, I'm gonna slow down now that I can't see the land anymore, because I think if we can get it, it's not gonna be from the center of the map. We have to get some distance and then turn around and try not to hit the ship on the way back. I didn't really see where the ship was. I'm just estimating I'm going to the right of it now. Please don't hit an island. There is an island out to the right over here. I think that was it. I think we might be safe. There's the ship. Oh, no! Dang. All right, just gonna not hit the ship. Think we should be pretty safe this time. I actually paid attention. We're already over 1,000. There's the island. There's the ship. It's just, was there stuff after the ship over here in this direction? Uh-oh. Okay, I think I'm barely missing those 2. All right, that's good. Well, oh, we're doing it. Hey, we just did it. We overdid it. probably could be like 42 engines, maybe. Wow, 1260. All right, that actually wasn't too bad at all. All right, so that's one sound barrier broken with the new part. I feel like the devs got word that I was doing sound barrier videos again, and they're like, we need a new engine, because suddenly I had new stuff to test out for sound barrier. All right, so we've seen how that works. Now we have to completely redesign. And how is that? What is the dimensions of this new one gonna be like? This one I think is gonna be a 2x2 center point. So we can use the go-kart seat now. Man, look how big that is. Okay, forwards, backwards, get rid of seat control. Now we got to figure out our buoyancy method for this. All right, but we also need our stabilization. So we got one of these, max strength. I got one of these. Actually, I'll just put two of these. Then we got our gyro stabilizer, our gyro turning. All right, so then that goes there. That can attach there. All right, so now what do we do about buoyancy? We need to block all of this. This is insane. It's bigger than the hull blocks. That is crazy. All right, I think we got to use these because these are like thinner. They're going to take up less space in the horizontal direction. But like these don't really match up very well, do they? Okay, so that matches up there. This is not good because we have like, I guess we do. I guess we could have not buoyancy under here like this. And then this goes here. Like that'll be the modular system we go with. Oh, wait, no, this doesn't work because this only attaches on one side. Oh, this does not work. Now this one is more challenging than I expected. I thought this one was gonna be the easier one because we had more space to work with, but at least as far as like coming up with an attachment system. But our buoyancy blocks give us pretty limited options. All right, so if our attachment point is right, maybe we got to do another system like this, where we have a modular central attachment point, and then we do kind of like the spiral system. Yeah, this is, oh, you know, we're just creating a big version of what we did with the other ones now. All right, and that gives us the ability to attach them front to back like this. Perfect. That's a lot of aerodynamics, though. That is going to challenge things. All right, so then I feel like I think we need to fill in this area too. So this can fill in like, what's wrong with this? It's one, okay, it's one block short here. All right, I think I have enough buoyancy, and I'm just going to add these grid blocks as filler. Oh, also the bottom. That almost snuck away from me, but there's a whole thing under here as well. And then these need to go on top of the seat. I have like a little cage. I don't know about this. This might be too much resistance. Let's just see if this works. Oh, we're so buoyant. We might be too buoyant, actually. Oh, these are so slow. These aren't even working because I'm too far out of the water. Wow. Okay, definitely taking these away. Why aren't these going at all? Do they have to be, does the center point have to be in the water? I feel like that should be working there. We've got to rework this strategy here. So we only really want top buoyancy, like here. So then that means the rest of this should just be these. Because we do want a little bit more buoyancy, I think, just around the center point. So maybe I can do this now. Yeah, this works. All right, let's see how this sits. Now we're going. Yeah, now we're going. Okay, that's promising, I think. All right, so now we just copy this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm gonna do 20 propellers. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're coming on a complexity issue. 20 propellers is almost max complexity. I could simplify a lot of these things down, though, I think. Maybe not. Might not be that easy. Definitely down here I can. Let's worry about that after we experiment with this. I don't have aerodynamics on this thing yet, but let's just see how this feels. Wow. All right, we reach our cap pretty quick because of our resistance, but 370 with terrible, right? Or pretty bad aerodynamics. All right, let's add some aerodynamics to this thing. See what happens. Yeah, that's the way to do it right there. And I can just copy and paste that to the back. How is that not attached? Ah, I see. Actually, I can do flip this. Then flip this. Oh, that looks cool too. But that fixes it. And doesn't matter up in the front. Should be the same. All right, now how fast are we gonna go? We're so deep in the water though, but that might be good. Oh. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This was... No, we were right there. We were right there. We were gonna do that like easy. Why the sudden stability change? Like, what caused that? We should be really symmetrical. Like, even back here, it's symmetrical. All right, come on. Stay steady. 1,000. No, 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 no. Why? Why? We're right there. We are so right there. 1,000's the magic number for stability issues sometimes. Where is... Everything is hidden. Where is my turning servo? Oh, it's on max. I'm gonna add another one. Okay, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Stay steady. Stay steady. 1,000. Oh. Oh, stay steady. Please stay steady. 1,200. Come on. Oh, what? No, you gotta be kidding me. Why are we bobbing? I can't believe that. We were at 1,200. We just needed to stay steady for a few more seconds. All right, let's even out first. All right, now let's go. We can have no turbulence. No perturbations. This looks... No, we just got unsteady. Don't. We're right there. We're right there. We're right there. Yes, there it is. Wow. That was impressive how close to not doing that we were. Like, we were right on the edge. I kind of wonder if taking away engines would actually make it better. Because we're literally... We have 7 blocks of complexity left. It's kind of crazy how close we were to the complexity limit to just barely break the sound barrier. And it's not a power issue whatsoever. These things are way more powerful than we even need. It ended up being like a stability issue. But let's see, we have 2 less. I think this is 18 engines. We're bobbing though is the problem. That bobbing is killing us. I think we like magically hit the magic number just by chance on our very first attempt. The only thing I could think is like adding more horizontal stabilization. I'm gonna add a few more max power gyro stabilizers to try to keep us from bobbing up and down. But I feel like that's not gonna help. I feel like once this issue presents itself, stabilizers don't do a whole lot, especially with these powers and speeds that we're going at. It is feeling better. Come on. Oh, we've capped out. I'm actually very surprised by that. Like, that was, even if we were more stable, I felt like we reached our terminal velocity there, which is crazy because it seemed like we had so much more power available to us. So I'm just gonna add, this is gonna imbalance us a little bit, but I'm gonna add exactly 1 engine. So I think this brings us to 19. Let's see how that feels. It's crazy how stable it starts out, and then once we get past like 1100, it starts to have fluctuations. Look at this! We capped out under 1200. Oh, we just barely broke 1200. And then the stability starts going. So I should then, if I add that 1 more engine back on the back here, this should bring us back to the sound barrier. We're at, what is our complexity? 689? I saved on complexity a little bit by adding those gyros back in. Are we gonna break the sound barrier again? Like we should. But that's kind of crazy. Our terminal velocity was literally at 1200. There, we did it. We just did it before losing control. So it seemed to me that 19 engines did not have enough power to push through a terminal velocity that was higher than the sound barrier. But 20 engines, which is the number that we started with first choice, happens to be the exact number I needed to actually break the sound barrier. I'm just so surprised at that chance there. And I literally couldn't add one more. I mean, I probably could with some optimizations, but with the method that I happened to choose, that was also my maximum. There's just so many things that aligned there. Well, I definitely got my fill, my fun of these new ship screws. Large ship screw and small ship screw. 37 kilograms and 12.5 kilograms. Definitely gonna add some aesthetics to a lot of builds. For sure. And it'll be interesting to try to apply these, like especially if you got two next to each other, using them as kind of like a tank steering setup where they both go forward and then one reverses to turn the ship. That could be kind of a fun... Ooh, I've already got a fun build in mind. I've got a really fun build in mind for these, I think. The buoyancy is going to be a challenge. But, yeah, I've got some builds in mind. If you guys have any ideas that you'd like to see with these new parts, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.